In the book, The Concise Townscape, Gordon Cullen describes three primary ways in which our environment produces an emotional reaction key to the planner or architect. Optics, how we see our environment. Place, how we find and feel ourselves within the environment. Content, the fabric of towns, color, texture, scale, style, character, personality, and uniqueness. In this video, I want to show you some examples from Cullen's ideas by walking a small route through Laugarnes area. I'm starting at Sundlaugur, walking through the play yard, past the shops, and Café Laugalækur. Then all the way up to Laugarnesvegur, taking a right turn to the big parking lot past the kindergarten, and through the narrow walkway in between the houses and ending on the parking lot. Public, private. Contrast between public and private. Fences. The function of fences is to enclose property to exclude unwanted people and animals. Enclosure. Enclosure sums up the polarity of legs and wheels. It is the basic unit of presensual pattern. Outside, the noise and speed of impersonal communication, which comes and goes, but is not of any place. Inside, the quietness and human scale of the square, quad or courtyard. This is the end product of traffic. Punctuation. If the vista seems like a complete sentence containing subject and predicate, the use of the word punctuation may clarify those demarcations of the enclosed phrase. In the continuing narrative of the street, functions and pattern change from place to place. This should be acknowledged by some physical science. The fence, for instance, being a particular structure, interrupts the alignment of the street and so closes one phrase and conceals the next, so that a pause is created. Narrows. The crowding together of buildings forms a pressure, an unavoidable nearness of detail, which is in direct contrast to the wide piazza, square, or promenade. And by the use of such narrows, it is possible to maintain enclosure without forbidding the passage of vehicles and pedestrians. In this way, the articulation of the city into clear and well-defined parts is made more possible. In its own right, narrowness has a definite effect on the pedestrian, inducing a sense of unaccustomed constriction and pressure. Division of space. Here you can clearly see the division of space. One for pedestrians, one for parallel parking, and another one for driving cars. Publicity. Publicity raises the temperature in the world of planning because there are two things concerned. First, the question of propriety, and the second of vitality of the medium in the urban scene. To those who hold architecture to be sacred, our first illustration is anathema. In fact, since advertising is accepted as a part of our society, then the actual morals of the case don't enter the argument. It is all taken for granted, and we are left with a house of lettering which has its own charm and vitality as a foil to the street. Mixed use. Retails and residential units. Here, there. The first category of relationships, pinpointing, change of level, vistas, narrows, closure, etc., is concerned with the interplay between a known here and a known there. Anticipation. We now turn to those aspects of here and there in which here is known, but the beyond is unknown, is infinite, mysterious, or is hidden inside a black maw. Intimacy. Luxuriant growth, enclosure, little sky, and warm brickwork create the inward life of intimacy and cordiality. There is here a bright and blooming human vigor. Enclosure, openness. When walking out of the narrow intimacy path, you come out into the openness, but it really is enclosure at the same time. Conclusion. This is a great tool to use to see what is missing in an area and what can be designed better to make our environment great.